Welcome back to my channel. This is for my Love is Blind fans, as we got to talk about this because we saw 3 couples, but they're saying there were 5 couples who got engaged, and one couple in particular, Carter and Renee. Does that sound familiar? Probably not, but we're going to talk about it because, yeah, their love story was cut from this season. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T. I got another update video for you guys regarding Love is Blind Season 5, Carter and Renee. And without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on. Can we say Love is Blind have some explaining to do? I mean, this show latest season only looked like it's following 3 engaged couples to Mexico, as we remember, one of whom ends up calling it quits before living together, leaving just 2 rocky pairs ahead of the weddings. But yeah, it was quickly discovered that there were several other engagements from the pods that weren't followed, and one in particular between Renee and Carter. They were cut even after the cameras followed them to the altar. So Renee and Carter are seen individually throughout the season, first in the pods and later at the reunion barbecue, but their relationship didn't play out on the screen. In fact, even some of the fans noticed glimpses of the 2 in the background shots in Mexico that seemed to be kind of edited out. Now, we know it's common for Love is Blind to stop following certain love stories post the pods, but the viewers are wondering why these 2 weren't shown when the honeymoon in Mexico and the cohabitation, and even before they got to the altar. And it's especially unusual considering season 5 definitely could have used more couple content. After all, only 2 couples were shown ended up living together, and this season is only 10 episodes as opposed to normally 12 in previous seasons. And of course, us social media users have speculated there was cheating involved, or that maybe, one of them in this relationship have been in another relationship during filming, seeing as she actually, she, as in Renee, did end up getting married after they left the altar. So she had a conversation with Pop Sugar and, reached out to Netflix for a comment on the storyline on the show. But, of course, they did not get an immediate response. They also tried reaching out to Carter for a comment on his and Renee's relationship. They didn't get a response. However, Renee decided to address the rumors of her engagement with Carter and her recent nuptials with a different man, as well as shares what it was like to be on the show. Plus, she offers her take on Uche and the Lydia drama and, some of the other men on the show. So she went on to say, and I quote, "We did get engaged in the pods and we were chosen to be followed for the rest of the journey. We did go all the way to the altar, but we did not get married. We fell in love with each other in the pods. We were very excited about everything, and things went really well in Mexico. We were always very pleasant, funny, happy, and enjoyed each other's company. But once we got back to Houston and back to that real world, I started noticing that I kind of ignored or blew off what was red flags that I should have picked up on. And eventually I did say no at the altar." So they went on to ask Renee, "We know Love is Blind doesn't always follow engagements in the altar, but it seems strange that you were filmed up to that point, but the love story wasn't shown in the series. Do you have insight into what might have happened?" And Renee went on to say, and I quote, "I was just as shocked as everybody else. I got a call a couple of months before the show aired in August to let me know that our story wasn't going to be a big focus. She said what she was told, well, just point blank, say that Carter was awful and we don't want you to have to relive that. That's just not going to be a big focus. They also said timing was an issue, so they decided to cut our story." That's what she says she was told, allegedly. They went on to ask her, "So you didn't know what was going to be shown before you saw it yourself?" She went on to say, and I quote, "I did ask for clarification because I was so confused at first. My question was, wait, the wedding's not going to be shown?" She was like, "Nope, no wedding." So she kept asking more, meaning Renee, and she was like, "I think it's going to be more like you guys are friends from the pods." It was very vague, according to Renee, and she said that she still thought that possibly, that they were going to get engaged on the show and then kind of cut down from there. And, they asked her, well, that seemed to be odd to still be left in as just friends. And Renee went on to say, "I really don't know the real reason, but all I can do is speculate. I have my own opinions on why and likely what happened, but it's not something that I was actually told. I don't know if I should get into it. I will eventually, but not now." So obviously she thinks something different has happened. It gets interesting as they went on to ask Renee, "Look, we know from your social media that you're now married." Congratulations, by the way. So people have been wondering whether your current relationship contributed to the editing decision. Were you in a relationship before or during the time you were on the show? Now, Renee said, "Look, I was never in a relationship during casting. I was single, and we didn't film for about 8 months after, and I was single the whole time. I think that rumor came from people seeing that I got married later on. So they were like, it just has to be that this was during the same time." But no, she said that she was single, and even think that Carter would say there were other issues maybe, but definitely not this. Now, they went on to ask her, I think people also forget how much earlier these shows are filmed. Renee went on to say, well, we move on and we have relationships after we film. Come on, everybody. And really, though, even if that was part of it all, I think Netflix would have kept it in. I think they would be more curious and want to know the story if that was the case. And I can totally agree with that because that's drama. Look at what they did on Married at First Sight, which is the same production team, Kinectic Content. When we had season 12 with Chris and Paige, there was this whole thing with Mercedes and Paige and Chris and her being pregnant from somebody he supposedly had slept with right before the show. They most definitely would have probably kept that in if Renee was dating somebody already while being on the show just for drama. Now, they went on to ask, can you clarify for the viewers the timeline of when you met your husband and got married and what you're comfortable sharing about the relationship? Now, Renee did go on to say that, look, her husband doesn't want to be part of any media, and I don't blame him. And he thinks the whole thing is wild. He doesn't even want people knowing his name. But I actually known him for a while. She said that they matched on a dating app years ago, and then we met, went on a couple of dates, but that was that. It wasn't until months after filming that we actually did go on more dates. We finished filming in June. We didn't go out until September or October. I think that I was in the spot where I was so ready for a real relationship and so excited for everything. And he saw the chance, so we did it. I want to keep our engagement private, but we got married in March. So, yeah, kind of, and the conversation go on and on. I'll leave the link down in the in the description box, and you can go and check out more of this interview. Because she goes in about her connections in the pod. Did she only connect with Carter? How she's rooting for the other couples. And, what she thought about the whole Uche, Lydia, and Aaliyah situation. So, I'll let you guys check that out on your own. But, this is something that I think that they should have added this season because you only ended up with basically two couples because the third couple bowed out. This would have been something added, even though Renee and Carter did not eventually get married. But we could have even saw the process up until the altar for more content, and we didn't get that. But again, congratulations on Renee as she did find love outside of the pods and as she moved on with her life. Okay, so there you have it. Let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about the show cutting out most of the couples when they at least could have had Renee and Carter for content? And did you get clarification in regards to her new marriage? Because a lot of people were speculating that, maybe she had a guy on the side or was, still in a relationship while being on the show. It looked like she clarified that, but I want to know your thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed this update video. Stay tuned for other updates and recaps on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.